Hello guys and welcome to volokinproject and welcome to another episode of Is It Still Worth It? My name is Tony and today I'm going to feature the $1,700 Leica Leitz Phone 1, the exclusive beast to Japan, released back in 2021. Essentially it's the same phone as the Sharp Aquos R6 but twice more expensive, and the selling point was the massive 1-inch 20 megapixel sensor of this phone. And they will tell you that this is the first Android phone to feature a 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor in a phone. Well, not exactly, guys. A couple of years ago, actually 10 years ago, Panasonic Lumix DMC CM1 released. Is an Android phone and it features the Leica sensor, 1-inch 20 megapixel. What a coincidence. And no, it is not the same sensor, but the quality of the photos were, well, maybe even better on this phone rather than on this one. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna waste your time, I'm not gonna force you to watch the whole, well, I guess it's gonna be a 20-minute video, although I have to give a shout out to my a regular fan base, the only couple of guys that are watching the videos till the end. Guys, stay and watch this video till the end. I have a surprise for you. If you know what phone I'm going to feature at the end, put it in the comments section below. And for the rest of you who just want to know whether this phone is worth buying or not, well, no. There are a couple of massive deal breakers. Even I, a hardcore fan and Android fanboy, couldn't really live with, and that's why I recently bought this beast over here, but on that a little bit later on. So $1,700 back in 2021, now in 2024, 3 years later, $300. How come? Well, a couple of massive issues with this phone, guys. First of all, let me start by saying that this phone does not include a charger in the original box, guys, which is disappointing because I was expecting a little bit of a touch, some nice designer charger, something like that, featuring this very beautiful design of the phone, design language, but unfortunately not. I had the message on the phone, rapid charging or fast charging or something like that, 50 minutes to 100%, guys, which is not good. And now moving on to the battery life of the phone very quickly, simply because, well, I'm gonna try to move on that video very quickly, guys, but let's see what happens. Usually it doesn't work, but I'll do my best. So have a look at that very quickly. We have almost 4 hours of screen on time, which is pretty much terrible. What else do we have, guys? 4.5 hours over here. Let's see what's next. 5 hours over here. Okay, almost 5 hours over here. 5 hours 3 minutes here. 4.5 hours here. 5 hours 20 minutes here. And let me see, 3.5 hours, guys. So you're getting between 3.5 and 5 hours of screen on time, and considering the battery is 5,000 milliamp hours, this is really not good, guys. And in case you're wondering, is it the software? Yeah, it is the software. It's running the latest and greatest Android 13 because this phone ships with Android 11, guys. I've put Android 13 on it, and in case you're wondering how I managed to do that, well, it wasn't with a VPN service. Unfortunately, that trick doesn't work on this phone, guys. I'll just give it a quick wipe, by the way. It doesn't work if you use a VPN to upgrade the software. You need to put a Japanese SIM card inside this phone, guys, and that's how I managed to update it through Android 13. You don't believe me? Not a problem at all. Let me show you guys about phone. There we go, guys. There we go, Android 13. Check this out, Android 13, guys. So yeah, let's get another elephant out of the room very quickly. The sound of this phone, we have a 3.5mm jack over here, which is magnificent. However, we have no settings to tweak the sound whatsoever, and of course the sound is not very good, guys. I really didn't expect that. I expected to be at least above average, but this is just average, guys. And we have a stereo speakers over here, one coming from here, the other coming from here. The earpiece sometimes in some situations is not loud enough, and it's very weird that both speakers are definitely loud when you listen to music. However, you can hear mostly the voice, which is pretty terrible for music. However, if you're looking for videos on your lunch break, you're watching them and it's a noisy environment, then you will be able to hear what the person is saying. However, listening to music, it's almost ear piercing, guys. It is really not good on this phone. So overall, not a very good experience, unfortunately. Now, the fingerprint reader is one of, I think it's the first in the world which takes two fingerprints at the same time. I'm really not sure why exactly should you do that. But I'm happy to report that the fingerprint reader is very good. It works 100% of the time, even with dirty hands. It actually works fine, which is a surprise. Face unlock is here. Now, of course, for the video is going to look very quickly, but usually if you have beard on or if you have glasses on, let alone sunglasses, it doesn't want to unlock the screen, guys. So overall, yes, very good fingerprint reader. However, face unlock is a little bit slow. You have rise to wake as well, which is nice, and it works, well, it works sometimes, not always. Double tap is here as well, which is all fine, guys. So I already talked about the software, and there's a very long list of software issues that you're going to face on this phone, guys. But first of all, I'm gonna have to talk about the hardware of the phone a little bit. Snapdragon 888, which was famous for overheating pretty much, and that's exactly the case in this phone as well. If you do light gaming, you're not gonna have issues. However, I play, Wreckfest, and I've put it on medium settings, and the phone still overheats. It's playable, but it's not a very nice experience. 12 gigabytes of RAM inside with 256 gigs of storage, which is still respectable 3 years later. I've never faced any kind of RAM issues, guys, so don't worry about that. The design of the phone itself is absolutely amazing, guys. I really love it. Check this out. This brushed aluminum over here, I absolutely love it. The ridges on the sides. Now we have an assistant button over here. Now this is a mistake, guys. Nobody's ever going to use, or at least me, a particular assistant button. What we should have was a shutter button over here, well, because it's a camera phone. But no, we didn't get that. And at the bottom you've got the usual stuff over here, the speaker, the USB-C, this and that. I really love the industrial design. These ridges really help holding this phone. And the Leica branding over here is amazing. 1-inch sensor, guys, in that beast. Yes, only one camera. And when you talk about camera phones, you imagine that you're gonna get something like that. You're gonna get a periscope, you're gonna get a super wide angle, but actually no, you get just one sensor, guys, and this is the main issue of this phone camera wise. First of all, we have autofocus issues. It cannot focus correctly if the subject is too close, and by too close I mean really not that close, guys. I'm talking about anything the half a meter, it can't really focus properly, and that's the only camera you've got nothing else. And the worst thing is they've got Leica Leitz Phone 1, 2 and 3, they're using the same sensor, so the results will be mostly the same. Now the back cover, by the way, I absolutely love it, guys. This is a brushed glass over here. It's matte glass. It's amazing. Now when it comes to NFC, the chip is over here, which is on the wrong side, because when you tap with your phone, when you try to pay, you do like that and it doesn't work. So you have to hold your phone like that, flip it like that and pay like that, which is not amazing. But anyway, now the next thing I'm going to talk about is well, accessories about this phone, guys. The situation is pretty much abysmal. There is nothing, literally nothing on the market, not even one case for this phone aftermarket, which is a surprise. To me, the original case is sold separately, £120, which I'm never going to pay. And this special, like a magnetic, cover to protect the camera is £70. I was cheeky enough, I went to AliExpress and I bought this replacement for a normal Leica camera for about £4, and of course it doesn't fit, because although it's a 42mm, yes, the glass is 42mm, but it's just a little bit more over here of the edges, and this cap doesn't fit. It almost fits, but at the same time it doesn't. So yeah, there's a little bit of a issue with that. Not particularly happy. It's not that I wasted £4 for nothing. I'm gonna put it on eBay and get, well, 5 back. after tax and everything, I'm gonna get probably less, but nevertheless, guys, the main issue is why this phone was $1,700 new, and now you can get it for about 300. That's how I got my one from. I imported it from Japan. And the main issues of this phone is the camera. The front camera particularly, guys, it's an absolute joke. You have a 12 megapixel sensor over here. I'm going to feature a couple of photos so you can get an idea what we are dealing with. However, the phone by default is shooting at just 4 megapixels, guys. You have to go in the settings, change the settings to shoot in 12 megapixels, and then the phone shoots in 4 megapixels but upscales for 12 megapixels, which is absolutely shocking to me, guys. Absolutely shocking, because the results are pretty bad. The only saving grace is the Google camera application, which lets you, it does the other way around. It shoots in 12 megapixels, but it downscales to 4 megapixels. For whatever reason, Google camera application, because of the API of this phone, you cannot use the full 12 megapixels. It's always going to downscale to 4 on the selfies, and they look much better, but still you have 4 megapixel selfies. You can see a couple of examples. In terms of video, you have 1080p with stabilization, which is pretty good. I cannot complain about that, but selfie wise, you just forget about that, guys. And the rear camera, it's weird, guys. There are a couple of major issues with the rear camera. First of all, when you first start shooting with this phone, check this out. That's the normal camera application, guys, and you're shooting at one time. Because I've read somewhere that the sensor was so wide, now that's bollocks, okay? Essentially, you're taking zoomed photos and the quality is just laughable, guys. So what actually should happen is, check this out. The phone shoots like that, okay? The phone shoots like that, framed, which is ridiculous. And you have to go in the settings, that's by default, and you go in the settings and you have to set the defaults to 0.7, which is the actual resolution of this phone, so it doesn't crop the photos, so they don't look terrible. And in terms of application, of course, you have the manual controls over here. You have portrait mode, which is shocking. You have the lights, looks, black and white, pretty much camera. And check this out. If you try to focus, sometimes you get the message, please shoot a little further away. Right. And that happens as well on the video as well, guys. Now, the next thing is, sometimes you're in a phone call. I was on a long phone call with my wife today, and I tried to take a photo of something. I needed to take a photo, and the phone said, nah, you're not taking photos while you're in a conversation, which is extremely weird, guys. But let's just go back to the camera. So yeah, 20 megapixel shots, they're really not good, guys. I've compared it with a bunch of other phones that I made a separate video on that. I'm going to release it anytime soon. But guys, the results are shocking, and again, the only saving grace is the Google camera application with a profile set to Google Pixel 8, and then, only then, you can take some usable, photos with this phone. Of course, not close by, because it doesn't focus properly. But this is your only saving grace. That's why I have both applications over here at the same time, guys. To take any kind of reasonably decent photos, you need the Google camera application, simply because this phone camera application is just not working properly, guys. Also, another surprise is that there is no dedicated photo application on this phone. You have Google Photos, which is not bad, but I expected something more particular. So let's go back to the main camera. In terms of videos, it has not excellent, but very good video stabilization, 4K, 1080p, 60 FPS as well. There's no 8K, thank God for that. To be honest with you, that's still just a gimme, guys, in 2024. Not many devices support that. But yeah, in terms of the cameras, pretty bad. I'm really disappointed, guys, about the cameras. And I'm not sure if I talk about that, but yeah, number one issue about this phone is the touch prevention, guys. Because the display is so curved over here, so curved, there's an option somewhere, I'm not remember where was it, somewhere in the menu, which says that touch prevention is on, which means that you're not gonna have issues. But check this out. For example, now I can't swipe. simply because that's how I use my phone, and now suddenly I can swipe. But not always, not always is that, that's the issue, guys. That's the issue. The display is way too curved. That is the problem, and not always it works as intended. Now it works, but now, as you see, depends on the situation. If you're losing your phone like that, with both hands. I had a situation where the phone rings up the alarm in the morning and I cannot turn the alarm off. I'm holding the phone like that, I'm trying to turn the alarm off, it doesn't work, so I just rebooted the phone. The other day my wife calls me, I cannot pick up the phone, guys. I'm still sleepy. You literally have to hold the phone like that and operate it like that, not to get, touch issues pretty much, and I just couldn't pick up the phone. I got so pissed. So pretty much that's the number one deal breaker of this phone. And also, when you go to white background, let me see, let me put something white over here, guys. I'm just gonna put white over here. There we go. When you take the white over here, you can see how the screen has burned over here and is shifting colors towards green over here, guys. And that happens on the whole screen, and especially in dark background. You have screen burn over here at the bottom, you have screen burn over here on top. The display just suffers from screen burn, yeah, which is really not good. As well as, now you can't see it, but I'll try to take a photo and put it over here on the side, guys. The display, all of the display has these white dots over here. I'm not sure how it happened, but that's not the first phone that actually suffers from these issues. And in terms of the software itself, as I said, you need a Japanese SIM card in order to update it. The VPN is not going to work. Android 13, that's great. However, the stock launcher is so limited, it's unbelievable. For example, I removed the Google bar over here. I cannot put these icons here. The navigation bar, you cannot hide it, guys. Over here, the the applications, there is no way to order them by any kind of means. They're just here. You can't order them by name or by download, by nothing. Also, the amount of bloatware on this phone is unbelievable. Check this out. Look at that. How many applications you've got, guys? I mean, come on. How many is that? Like 20, 25 applications maybe? Now, even the Chinese phones don't have this amount of, bloatware, guys, which is absolutely ridiculous on this phone. Now, I had to look at my notes to see what other issues there are. Although the phone is SIM unlocked, the data connection doesn't work, so you have to go and set it up manually by yourself, guys, which means that if you're transferring, your SIM from one phone to another, well, copy the settings and then just put them here. It's a pain, but it's not the end of the world. One more thing I forgot to tell you about the screen is that the maximum brightness is absolutely phenomenal, guys. You've got a boost on sunlight, so you're never going to have issues seeing the screen. That is amazing. However, what's not amazing is the auto brightness when it's actually dark, guys. It cannot decide what brightness level should set, and the display keeps going darker and lighter, which is extremely annoying, so that's why I have it off. And the last thing about the software is that you cannot close all of the applications you've got at the same time. These are my notes for this phone, so there's no one button clear all over here. All you have to do is just close them one by one like that, which is really not nice, guys. So let's sum this video up. The real deal breakers of this phone are the touch prevention, which pretty much prevents you from using the phone at day-to-day basis without touching something accidentally, the terrible camera, and the lack of any kind of accessories. Screen protectors are non-existent for this phone, apart from these gel ones, which are, well, I'm not a fan at all. So on the face of it, $1,700 reduced to $300. That's amazing. However, day-to-day usage is an absolute pain on this phone, guys. And also, and although I really love the idea, the phone is functional, despite all the software issues, the software is stable. It never rebooted on me or anything like that. It's kind of livable. The touch prevention is what absolutely kills this phone for me. I can install Nova Launcher and organize my icons. That's not a problem. If you have any questions, put them in the comments section below. And finally, let's have a look at the Volokin Spectrum scoring system. This phone gets only 32 out of 60, guys, which places it on a 96th place or something like that. Pretty much all the scores I've given to this phone are pretty much low apart from the performance, because they're worse than expected, guys. And now finally, my surprise to all of you that have been watching this video until the end. Check this out. Let me know if you ever seen something like that, if you know what that is. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Oh my god, this fingerprint magnet over here, guys. But nevertheless, check this out, guys. If you know what it is, leave a comment in the comment section below. If you don't know, hit me up on my messages. But this phone is going to be featured on my channel very soon, and just look at it. I'm not gonna say anything else. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.